So the people watching from home, it's like kind of like
I was
watching
telling
TV.
I was telling our parents they got to up their game. They got an iPhone and a tripod, and look at this. And you can go side to side. It's cool.
Well, I get it to where I've got that fisheye so I can get the whole court in. But I think I'm going to switch sides so I can see the score. You're good. Test. Nope. You good. Test, test. 1, 2, test. Testing, testing. 1, 2. Test. I can see the score from this side. Testing. 1, 2. right, welcome everybody back to the Orange County Convention Center. We are here in Orlando, Florida for day 2 of the Sunshine Classic. We'll be taking on Tampa North 16 Black. They went 6-0 in sets, 3-0 in matches yesterday, first in their pool. And there's about an 11-second delay, so someone's going to get a wave here in about 10, 9, 8. We took second in our pool yesterday, if you weren't with us. Lost a heartbreaker to the number 2 team in our pool. We came in number 1. So we're here in 4th position for this pool for today. So that's we'll have to prove ourselves. If we take 1st or 2nd today, we stay in gold and have a chance in the bracket play tomorrow to win the whole thing. If we take 3rd or 4th, we're in silver or bronze. So girls need to pull it together today and at least take 2nd, if not 1st. And we're ready to get started here as the team from Tampa will start us off. Reagan sends that one forward. Allie finds Jane, and we send it over. From the outside, that's rejected by Cam and Allie. Brought back over. Kennedy, the back set to Cam. She dumps it over. Tight one to the net. That one's going to come cross court. Greta plays it up. Allie gets it over to Jane. She sends it down the left line, and there's the first point and first kill of the day. You're fine, though. You're fine. So it is 1-0 in favor of your Aqua Thunder as Chloe will send it. Chloe sends it back middle. This one coming from the right side. Defensive move by Kennedy, plays it up, and then Kennedy will send it cross court. One-handed set and a miss by the middle, and that's a 2-0 lead for the Thunder. Chloe to serve another with a 2-point advantage. She'll send it left side, a one-handed pass, free ball coming over. Let's do something, girls. Kennedy to Allie, gets it over to Greta. Greta cuts it too deep, and that'll go all the way over to the bench, and we'll have a 2-1 score. Here comes the serve from Tampa Bay. Kennedy squats down, gets that to Allie. She finds Cam. Cam powers it through the block. With that bam, bam, Cam do attitude, there's another point for the Thunder, and we'll take a 3-1 advantage here early on in set 1. We had the favorable morning schedule since we were 4th in the pool. We didn't have to ref or play the first match, so the girls possibly got a little extra sleep as Greta goes up, denies that one. And it's 4-1 in favor of the Thunder. Cam gets the ace. And we're off to a good start, folks, here on a bright and sunny Saturday morning. It was a little challenge to get to the gymnasium or to the conference center as there was a pretty big accident that blocked up both sides of the road to get here. So we're in the South. We'll quote the South. We had to go all around Dick's Hat Band to get here, but we got here. And that'll be a point for Tampa. Five to 2. Kennedy up to Allie. Allie's going to push it over to Greta, and she's going to dump it into the middle, picked up by Tampa. Cross court over to the scorer's table, and another point for Rockwood. Had an opportunity a number of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, 2 years ago, to visit Tampa Bay. In the wintertime, we were down here for Christmas, stayed at Margaritaville RV Resort, recommend it to anybody. But if you're ever down here and you get the chance in the winter, go over to the power plant, because you'll get to see a whole bunch of manatees in nature as they come to the water-cooled power plant, and there's a good point for Rockwood. So there was hundreds, well, maybe not hundreds, dozens upon dozens of manatees just hanging out in the Tampa Bay right there by the power plant. Very cool if you ever get down there. There's your tourist tip for the day from Big Red, your favorite announcer. Allie to serve. She'll send it back at the libero. This is going to come from the right side, cross court. Allie plays it all the way back over. Libero has to play the out of system to the right side, and that's going to fall in the court as that was in the back left corner. We're at 7-3 and a different ref than we had yesterday, which is definitely a good thing for us, as he was not on the Rockwood bandwagon, that's for certain. Greta goes down, unable to pull that one up. That'll take us to 7-4. Reagan has a little trouble with that one herself as she squats down, and we got a tough server here that's got one that's dropping on the girls. They're going to have to watch it close and make sure we get this next one up and get the side out. As we're at the Hines 57 score. That one will be easily played up by Reagan. She'll get it up to Liv and toss it to Delaney, who dumps it over. And then there's a swing from the outside going through the block. And we're at the 6-7 score in favor of us, 7-6. Insert snicker here. I prefer to the spirit of 76, and let's remind ourselves of the 250th birthday of our great country. And there's a little scramble, and that's going to go off the hands, cross court, and tie us up at 7. And we definitely want to wish all our brave men and women in our armed forces safety, as I'm sure most of you have seen. We've started a little conflict with Iran this morning, or late last night. So Godspeed to all of our military personnel. And definitely thank you for keeping us safe and protecting us. It's 8-7 now in favor of Tampa, as we've had a few go the wrong way. Knuckleball, Chloe gets a little help from Reagan. She'll get the out of system to Greta, and Greta dumps it over. From the outside into the net, and we're knotted up at 8 at the Ocho. The Ocho, almost as good a channel as the one you're watching, ESPN 7, the Siete. I can't get enough of it. Greta goes right side with the serve. This is going to come over to their outside off the high hands. Greta up to Liv. She finds Jane. Jane throws it to the left side. And a down ball from behind the 10-foot line. Greta plays it up to Olivia. Should turn and dump it into the Hertz donut. And you'll need a cup of coffee for that one, Tampa, as that was dipped into the Hertz donut right there. Greta tries left side seam, picked up. This one's coming from the outside all the way to the fences. And that one sailed away like my hopes of being a real announcer. Greta goes left side with it. This one's going to go to the right side. Olivia has to play it. Greta with the out of system to Zoe, and she's going to push that one a little too far and take us to 10-9. The match before us was between the number 1 team in the pool and the number 3 team, and the number 3 team out of Maryland actually took that match. Reagan gets this one up, gets a little help from Jane, and Greta will dump it over. Pushed back to the right side on a slide, and that'll be down for the kill. The slide is tough to defend. You see us use it quite a bit. And it is tough to get that block up against it. Short serve handled by Reagan. She'll get it to Olivia. She finds Zoe Parks. Zoe gets the kill and a parent on the backside of that. Got a nice headshot on a mom walking by in a nice Hawaiian shirt. As it is Hawaiian Day here at the Orange County Convention Center. You'll see a bunch of them. Reagan's serve goes back middle. That's blocked at the net. Cam does a great job of keeping it alive and sending it back over. From behind the 10-foot line and long, and there's a 2-point lead for your Rockwood Thunder. Reagan will try the left side. Sprayed over to the outside, across the block, but out too long. Too long, like a pair of my jeans on a 5-foot tall person. Reagan goes short middle with this one, picked up. Dumped over, Reagan gets the second ball, and Greta will send it from behind the 10-foot line. There's another slide, a great block, but unable to. That did come on our side. We were unable to keep that up and under the net on our side. But it was good that we got some hands on that slide. 13-11, there's a tough one for Jane, unable to pick it up. And the lead is 1. Another short one off the top of the tape. Jane gets it to Olivia. She finds Zoe Parks. She'll send it back deep middle. Pushed it over the outside, off the hands and out of bounds, but we'll get a touch, and we're tied at 13. I don't expect any of the matches today are going to be easy ones. You got 4 teams, 2 that took first in their pool and 2 that took second in their pool, so no slouches today. Can't let off on any of these matches. And we'll take the nice missed tap pass there as it goes into the net. Kennedy's serve goes short middle. Libero out of system over the outside. That was touched at the net and picked up by Jane. Great job. Keep her eye on that one. Over the outside again. That one hit through the block as Allie and Cam were up, but that came through the hands, and we're knotted up at 14. Reagan's got this one up to Allie. And Jane sends it cross court, but picked up by Tampa. That's going to go out of bounds, no touch, and that'll be another Rockwood point. That'll put Chloe back behind the line. She'll send it short middle, and the libero unable to get it. There's an ace for Chloe and a 2-point advantage for the Thunder. Chloe goes left side. That one's going to shoot straight up in the air. From behind the 10-foot line, off the block, Kennedy unable to get it. And we're back to a 1-point lead. Kennedy will get this one up to Allie. She's going to backfeed it to Cam, and that was hammered. Grapthar's hammer sent that one home. I hope any of you out there are Galaxy Quest fans and get that by Grapthar's hammer. One of the greatest movies ever, Tim Allen. Cam will send this one right side. Tight to the net, a quick set to the middle, and she's going to find the net. We'll grow the lead to 3, and a timeout called by Tampa. We'll be back after this timeout. And we're back after the timeout. Cam ready to serve up 3. She'll send it right side. Sprays off a little bit. The setter's going to get it to her right side. Tipped over. Chloe runs it down. Allie's going to push it to Greta. Greta's going to push it into the net. And that'll drop the lead back to 2. Short serve. Kennedy dives in, sends it all the way over. Off the hands as that was blocked over in the middle, but it came down on our side. We're nursing a 1-point lead right now. Need to get a quick side out. Short serve. Chloe runs it down. Allie pushes it to Greta. She tipped it up and over the block and harmlessly down. They don't all have to be hard kills. Follow that general principle. Hit it where they ain't. And that's what she did. And that'll put Allie behind the line. She'll go short middle, get an ace. Something we were missing from her yesterday was her nice string of serves. Maybe we can get that rolling today. Let's hop on that freight train, Allie. She'll go right side. Popped up, setter's under it. Pushes to the outside, off the high hands. Chloe up to Allie. Quick set to Delaney. She tips it over the block. Over to the right side, cross court. Allie's got it. Reagan has to play the out of system over to Greta. She'll send it back deep. The outside, short one that Chloe dives in to get. Played it up, and then she sends it over. We regroup. Quick set to the middle, and that one goes sailing all the way to Capistrano as that one hit halfway up the net. 21-17 in favor of your Rockwood Thunder. Allie's short serve, picked up. This one's from the outside, rejected at the net. Picked up by Tampa, and then the outside just tips it over. Delaney's got it. Allie knocks down Greta, but gets the set over. And that one off the tape and down right in front of the net, or right behind the net, I guess I should say. 21-18 as Tampa will take that point. Reagan plays that one up. Sent over. Pushed over to the outside. Tipped over. Greta read it the whole way. Olivia bumps a bunch of them out of the way and gets it over to Reagan, who will send it over. From the slide on the right side, and that's not going to make it over the net. And that'll be another timeout by Tampa, and we'll be back right after this. We're back out of the timeout with the 4-point lead, and Greta serving. She'll go with the libero. Pushed over to the outside, and that's going to come down in the back corner. And that'll take us to 22-19. This one will come back at Greta. She'll find Olivia with it, who gets it to Jane, and Jane tools it off the block. Tim the Toolman Taylor style, and that'll take us to Monstropolis, our favorite score, 23-19 in favor of the Thunder. That'll bring Reagan in to serve. She'll go back middle with it. Outside is rejected. Rejected as bad as me in my dating years at the clubs. Nobody feels sorry for me. I got a beautiful, lovely wife. It all worked out. Reagan sends that one down the left side. From behind the 10-foot line, Cam got some hands on it, but we'll line up and do it again and have to win this set from a side out as it's 24-20. And that one's going to sail all the way past the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria as that serve goes out of bounds. And that'll put the first set in favor of Rockwood. We'll be back to bring you set two here shortly. Well, let's get ready for set two as we will have first serve, and that'll be Kennedy. And she's going to send it to the right side. Setter's going to give a quick one to the middle. That's going to get blocked at the net, and we're going to be called in the net, so Tampa will take the first point. Getting a lot of grief from the moms and dads sitting here close by with some of my little sayings. But I think they just like to give me a little grief. Reagan will play this one up to Allie. Jane goes cross court. Libero picks that one. And we're going to get a net violation, I think it was, on Tampa. And that'll bring Chloe in to serve. Chloe goes short middle. Libero squats down to get it. Tapped over. Kennedy's there. Allie's going to get it to Greta. Greta turns and sends it down the left side. Kennedy's got the overpass. Allie just tries to dump it. Picked up from the outside. No touch on it. And they're saying there was a touch. I disagree with that, but they called the touch. Two-one Tampa. Chloe up to Allie. Pushed all the way over to Greta. She tips it into the Hertz Donut. Diving effort by the Libero. But she sent it over to the South 40 acre here. And that'll tie us up at two. Twos are wild. As we'll see Zoe Davis come in. And she'll send it at that Libero. Pushed over to the outside. Cross court. That'll be a Rockwood point as that went slip sliding away over here to the fans. Zoe this time finds the net and will be tied up at a tree apiece. Kennedy up to Allie. Back sets the slide to Delaney, and she'll power it through the block. As I was saying, that slide's hard to defend. Usually the block is late getting there because it happens so quick. Allie goes at the Libero. Setter's going to push it to the outside, tipped over the block. Zoe and Delaney both picked it up. Delaney will tip it over. From the right side through Kennedy. And that'll be a Tampa point. We'll be tied at 4. I guess that was, maybe that might not have been Kennedy. I was blocked, sorry. Kennedy, if that wasn't you, my apologies. Reagan does a diving effort to play that knuckleball. Zoe Sparks gets a good swing on it and a scramble from behind the 10-foot line. They're saying that was out of bounds and nobody called it. Tipped over. Olivia runs it down. Reagan with the out of system to Greta. And that gets bounced around a whole bunch. The middle's going to dump it over. Diving effort by Chloe. And Greta sends a tough one back left. This one's going to come again from around the 10-foot line. Diving effort by Chloe again. And Greta sends that one just a little too long. And that's unfortunate, as that should have been our point about 10 minutes ago if that was truly outside the antenna. And Coach Gabby sends her captain, Greta, over to say, hey, man, that was outside the antenna 10 minutes ago. And I think the line judge actually raised her flag and called it. So if the upper ref waves her down and has her come over to him, that could be a good sign, but he is going to ask him to come in. And he's going to have the down ref come. So as it stands right now, it's 5-4 in favor of Tampa, but that could reverse and be 5-4 in favor of us if we win this challenge. And I see the line judge shaking her head saying no. So this is going to stay where it's at by what I'm seeing. Yep, it stays where it's at. So it's 5-4 Tampa. No surprise to us. I don't think we've won one of these, have we? And that'll come at Greta. Reagan goes down in the effort. And a good swing by Zoe. That one comes cross court. Diving effort by Olivia. Reagan with the out of system to Greta. Greta with a heck of a cut. And that's what was missing yesterday in our loss, is those were just a touch off and sailing out of bounds. But that one certainly didn't. That one went inside the 10-foot line and had a couple feet to spare, as that was a heck of a cut by Greta. And we're tied up at the double nickel. Highway 55. That time they caught the antenna, and that'll be a Rockwood point, as Olivia did a good job of digging it anyway. Six-5 now in favor of your Rockwood Thunders. Greta sends that screamer to the left. Pushed over to the outside, and that was wide open. And the outside had no problem putting that one down. That one happened too fast, had us out of position. Towards the right side, Greta puts it up to Olivia. She'll find Jane. Jane makes an adjustment on it, gets it off the block. And this time the outside is going to find the net. Unlike our friend Free Willie, that one didn't make it over the net, as Willie did to earn his freedom. And Reagan to serve. She'll go down the left side. Great dig by Olivia as she sticks a paw out and keeps that one alive. Free balled over. This one pushed over the outside. Rejected by Zoe and Zoe. So Zoe squared with the block. Reagan the out of system to Greta. And Greta gets the kill. I think the line judge called it out, but the up ref overruled her. And he gave that a point to us. It's 6-8 in favor of us. Oops. And Reagan's, that one's going to come down on our side, and it's 7-8. Or 8-7, sorry, in favor of us. Favor of the good guys. Greta up to Allie, the back set to Zoe. She makes a quick adjustment on it, scrambled around, bounced over. Reagan with the easy one, and Olivia finds Zoe, and it looks like, oops. Sorry, I was following them. It should be 8-all now, as they called the double. I didn't see on who. Jane up to Olivia. Zoe Davis says, you know what, I'm going to show you how it's done. And she peppered that back right corner like a good piece of jerky peppered. 9-8. Kennedy's serve goes short and right. Setter's going to throw it to her outside, and she's going to find the net. And we're back up to 10-8 here in the second set, middle of it. If you're just joining us, we walked away with the first set. Kennedy goes right side, going over to that outside again. This time she goes over the block. Kennedy gets to Allie, dumps it over. From behind the 10-foot line to the bench, and that'll be another Thunder point. Kennedy sends a short one played up by the front. From the outside, cross court, Reagan defends the heck out of that one. And Jane goes off the block. Reagan gets one paw on it and plays it up. The outside, great dig by Kennedy, but no, they're going to say it hit the ground. Good effort, Kennedy, and that'll take us to our 9-11 score. And once again, we want to thank all of our first responders and our troops for keeping us safe. God bless you all. Reagan gets a nice high one up to Allie. She tried dumping it over. It was played over. Reagan now with the out of system to Jane, who goes up and over the block. Played up by Black Row. From the outside, off the high hands. Greta with the good dig. Jane will turn and throw it left. Tampa is not They're trying not to let anything hit the ground, and that one comes off like a misfire. And it's a 12-9 score in favor of Rockwood Thunder. Chloe in now to serve. Oh, goes at the libero. Setter pushes it to the outside, and that goes outside the court. They're going to call a touch that, again, I did not see. Chloe's set to serve, and she's confused, as everyone. It's a 10-12, or 12-10 lead for Rockwood. Short serve. Diving dig by Reagan to keep that away. And then a misfire by the middle. And Reagan gets the Willie Mays Hayes slide in on that one. A little shout out to Major League that we don't get to do very often. Zoe Davis goes left side with the serve. Pushed over to the outside. Cut, hits the tape, and falls down on our side. Holding on to a 2-point lead here. Another short serve. Chloe read it well in there. Allie turns and dumps it. Tampa did play it. From behind the 10-foot line, Kennedy high hands it up to Allie, and Greta with another really good cut, but that one's going to go out of bounds. And they're nursing the 1-point lead now as Tampa holds serve. Chloe gets it to Allie, and then another slide to Delaney, as that's how you draw it up, and it's 14-12. Allie will post up behind the line now. She'll send it short middle. Libero goes down. Sent over in two. Good diving effort by Chloe. And that'll be a kill for Greta. She switches it up on him and goes down the left side. They had all shifted over. It was like watching the shift in baseball. And she was able to pull that one down the line. Allie's serve goes left side. Setter's going to push it over to the outside, tipped over. Allie has to play it. Reagan and Greta come together, and hopefully they're okay as they trip all over each other. There's smiles and laughters and no limping, so we'll take that as a plus. Somebody needs to tell them there's enough room on the court for both of them. They don't have to occupy the same space. It's 15-13 now, still in favor of Rockwood, nursing this 2-point lead. Greta will fight that one off. Olivia gets under it, and Zoe Parks will send it right side. Libero free balls it over. Chloe to Olivia, and Delaney's just a little long with that one, and no touch. And the lead is now 1. That'll sail along. Take us to 16-14. Great job by all of the girls there. That was amazing to keep it alive, and good effort by Olivia, but that one's going to fall by way of Tampa's. That was crazy. Reagan will play it up to Olivia. She backsets it. Went too far. Zoe unable to swing on it, and Reagan will have to play up another one. And we got some kind of call. They're going to call it 4 hits on us, and that should tie us up at 16. Or maybe it's 16-15, sorry. Nope, 16 all. I was right. And that one's going to be an in-sync song and go bye, bye, bye as that sails on too long. Reagan now to serve with a 1-point lead. And they're checking something. It looks like we might have a rotation issue that they're looking at to see if everything lines up. By the way they're looking at the scores table right now, it looks like they're holding a lineup card. We'll take a quick timeout while they get it figured. I think they got it figured out. Never mind. We're good. 17-16 in favor of your Rockwood Thunder, and Reagan to serve. She'll go at the back middle and handcuff her. And then from the outside, Olivia has to play it. Greta going to get it to Jane, who goes and turns it down the left side. Again to the outside. That's going to be blocked. To me, that didn't look like it made it over the net, but they're going to say Zoe Parks got a hand on it, and she probably did. Probably was net, hands, and out of bounds. And we're tied at 17. Greta to Olivia. This one to Zoe. She's rejected, and Tampa will take the 1-point lead. And that one was a miscommunication on whether that was going to be in or out. Got to get a lot of help from your bench as Greta pulled off on it at the last second, thinking it was going out, and that one landed in. Greta will play this one up. Olivia feeds it to Zoe Davis. She throws it left. Bounced around over to the outside, off the hands, off the net. Olivia plays it. Reagan with the out of system to Jane. Jane sends it back deep middle. Comes back to that outside, off the hands. Jane plays it to Olivia to Zoe Parks, and she'll send it too long, and we're down 3. And it looks like Gabby wants a timeout, and she'll get it. We'll be back after the timeout. All right, timeout over, but there was a little question from Tampa to the upper rep, but it looks like that's all solved. Jane to Olivia. Back sets it to Zoe Davis. Where's the lift on that one? That's terrible. Reagan with the out of system to Jane. We're sending it back. And then the outside, good dig by Greta, but that's going to be an overpass. Where's the net violation? And there it is. That might even be a makeup call. The up ref is overruling the down ref. The down ref was saying it was a net violation on us, but the up ref says, nah, I'm going to make this call. So the lead is now 2 for Tampa, and Kennedy coming in to serve. We're in the back third of set 2 here. We did win the first set. Kennedy with a short serve. And that'll get off the hands and out of bounds and be a Tampa point. Girls need to buckle down right now and get a side out and get some points in our favor. Reagan plays that one up to Allie. Greta will send it over free ball. Over to the outside. That's going to go off the antenna again, but no call, and Jane will dump it into the middle. Nice dig by Kennedy, and Allie pushes it to Jane. Jane sends it right side. This one's going off the hands and down on our side, and we can't get a break with making these good calls. And Gabby's going to call another timeout. And Greta's going to go over and argue with the up ref that hit the antenna. And let's see if he calls everybody in. Now we got a yellow card on us again. I don't know if that was on Aaron or let's see if we can find out. We'll be back after this timeout. Gabby got her timeout. So I got the lowdown. The yellow card was to the bench because they keep requesting a antenna call. So the up ref warned them to stop doing that. Again, it's just a warning. Greta will play this one up to Allie. Jane goes left side, and that's going to go down for the kill. As the line judge called it out, but the up ref overruled. And I could hear the parents complaining about the line judge is terrible, the down ref's terrible. But luckily we got an up ref that he's doing his job. If he sees something, he calls it. Chloe goes to the deep middle. Libero plays it up. Setter gets it to the outside. Greta has to play it. Allie gets it back to Greta. She'll dump it into the middle. Pushed over to the outside, and that's going to hit the net and go down on their side and cut the lead to 2. All right, girls, get mad. Let's have this go in our favor. Chloe will send it seam left to nowhere. The setter dives after it. That could have been a double, but it wasn't called. Zoe Davis sends it back left. That one all the way over to the outside, and that'll go to the bench. And the lead is down to 1. And that'll draw a timeout from Tampa, and we'll be back after their timeout. And we're back out of the timeout. Down 1, Chloe serving. She'll go left side. Pushed over to the middle. Swing and a miss. As I could feel the whiff from here. And we're tied at 22. Chloe goes to the libero in the back middle. Pushed over to the outside. And that one's going to find a hole in the floor. In the back right corner, we're down 1 again, Tampa serving. Definitely need to get the side out here. You don't want to get them to match point. Or set point, sorry. That one off Chloe and Allie unable to get to it, and we're at set point, so the girls have to buckle down here and get this side out or we're playing a third set. Kennedy will play it up. Allie pushes it out to Greta. Greta tips it up and over the block and down for the kill. And now we got a chance to tie it and fight off another set point. And we'll have Zoe Davis behind the line to do just that. She'll go at the libero. Pushed over to the outside, through the block, off of Chloe and down, and we're playing 3. We'll be back to bring you the third set after both coaches have a chance to talk it over and reset their lineups, and we'll have a set to 15. We'll catch you then. All right, looks like we lost the toss again, and Tampa won it, so they'll get first serve here in the third set. That one will come back at Reagan. Nicely up to Allie, and she'll find Cam with it. That's going to get played up. Dumped over. Kennedy to Allie. Allie's going to get it to Jane. She'll go off the high hands. Played up by Tampa. Over to their outside, off the hands and out of bounds, and Tampa will take the first point. At this point, I think we can pretty well sell out on that outside because they're not setting anybody else. 1-0 in favor of Tampa. This does go to 15. Greta with a tight one to the net, but Allie feeds it back to her, and she gets a good swing on it. Again to the outside. This time it's blocked at the net. Jane picks it up. Cam throws it. Tampa plays it. Cross court. Kennedy's got it. Allie to Jane, and Jane powers it through the block, and we're tied at 1. We need to stay aggressive and keep in system like that where we can take some good swings. Chloe to serve. She'll go down the left side. That's sprayed off, and there's an ace for Chloe. and a 2-1 lead for your Rockwood Thunder. Chloe's next offer is going to go short middle. Libero jumps in for it. Over to the outside, no surprise. That one goes off the hands and out of bounds, and that'll be tied at 2. I'm not Nostradamus, but I'm going to predict they're going to keep going to that outside. Line drive, Kennedy goes down to get it. Allie turns and dumps it, and she'll get a kill. Caught him by surprise as she threw that one left-handed back into the back right corner. And our resident Flintstone, Bam Bam Cam, comes in to serve. Quick set to the middle, and Kennedy gets a paw on it. It might have been Chloe. I was a little blocked, but it was a good play, and we got a net violation. And some upset Tampa players. Don't know, I didn't see it, but why not? About time a good call goes our way. 4-2 lead. Cam to serve. She'll go at the libero. That's going to spray off, and she gets the ace. And we'll take the 3-point advantage. And we'll win the first race to 5. Ball on the court. There was another ace, but a whistle. That's typical for us. Let's see if she can replicate it. That was a redo, so no blood, no foul. We'll serve again. 5-2 is the score. She'll go left side. Setter gets onto that one, and it's pushed over. Chloe gets it up to Allie, and Greta tips it through the block, comes back our way, and she got her own rebound. This one goes to the outside. Kennedy's there. Allie turns and dumps another one, but that's picked up. Off the high hands. Cam gets it to Allie. She tries to one-hand it, and Delaney can't get a swing on it. And the lead is cut to 2. Chloe will take that one up to Allie. Back sets it Delaney on a modified slide, but that goes too far. And the lead is now 5-4. Short serve. Kennedy. Allie runs under it. Greta goes off the antenna, and now they call an antenna. That one was pretty obvious. And we're tied at the double nickel. That one will go a little off Kennedy. Great job by Greta to keep it alive. And that one too hot for Kennedy to handle, and Tampa will take the 1-point advantage, 6-5. Kennedy high hands that one. Allie has to lay out for it, and Delaney sends it over the top of the tape. From the right side, rejected by Delaney and Greta. The outside, great dig by Chloe. And Greta sends it back middle, over the right side again, off the high hands. Reagan has it up to Allie. Allie with the quick set. Delaney's shot is picked up. Kennedy. And we're going to get a net violation. The down ref's trying to call it, but the up ref's ignoring it. And Greta gets the kill. And now the up ref is going to call. Oh, he's going to give a yellow card to the other team now, it looks like. Let's see if he does. He's telling their captain, yep, here comes a yellow card. So their coach was throwing a fit. as the down ref had called a net violation, but now he's going to call her over. And this is probably not going to go our way. Right now the score's tied at 6. This could go 7-5 in favor of Tampa if the down ref wins it. We'll see what the up ref decides. Decision coming. He's calling in the captains. And he's going to overrule. He's going to listen to the down ref, who has been terrible. And exactly what we feared is going to happen. He's going to, as usual, it's not going to go our way. And that's going to make it a 7-5 count in favor of Tampa. The old Heinz 57 score. And we've seen this chapter unfold before. Allie will get it to Greta. Greta goes up and over the block. That's a lift, not called. Allie back sets it to Delaney. That's going to go off the hands. And they're going to say no. Wow. And Gabby's going to call a timeout. We'll be back after the timeout. All right, let's see if Gabby was able to calm her team down. We're down 3, and this only goes to 15, so they need to side out right now and put this stuff behind them. Gabby gets that point as she'll win the timeout point. Cuts the lead to 2. This team has been pretty good about putting these kind of things behind them and moving on. We'll see if we can keep that going. Over to the right side, cross court. Allie has to play it, so Reagan with the out of system to Zoe. Zoe will go off the high hands. They're outside. Great dig by Reagan, but unfortunately nobody there to pick it up as it went towards the net. But a good swing by their outside, and Reagan picked it up. It's 9-6 in favor of Tampa. Greta up to Olivia. Zoe Parks will hit that one through the block, as it is a spark. But Zoe does a great job of powering that one through the block. Greta will go at the libero. Tough serve, free ball coming. Let's do something, girls. Greta to Olivia. She'll turn and dump it. Diving effort comes all the way over. Zoe tries to clean it up. This one's going to come to their outside. That's rejected by Delaney. Hit over in the middle. Great dig by Reagan. Olivia runs it down. We'll send it over. Dumped over. Olivia's there. Reagan gets the out of system over to Jane. Jane goes cross court. Picked up by their libero. Outside swing and goes off of Greta. And Tampa will win the race to 10. This one at Reagan, that's going to go off of Reagan and take us to the Slurpee score of 7-11 and another timeout by Gabby. All right, we're out of the timeout. We need to win these next 3 points big time. If that's going to sail long. Good job by Reagan of following that one and making sure it went out. Reagan will serve. She'll go at the back middle. Dumped over. Reagan got a hand on it. Greta got a hand on it, but Zoe gave a good effort, but couldn't get there as that one was spraying all over the place. And we're down 4 with only a few points to spare here. That one will get, Jane gets some help from Greta. Jane will send it over, and Jane was there to block it if it was going to come over, but it never made it over. Kennedy will send it back right. Setter pushes it to the outside, off the high hands. Kennedy gets the one-handed grab on it. Jane hits it through the block. Cuts that lead to 2. Kennedy will go back at that right side. Pushed over the outside again. Tipped over the block. Kennedy gets a hand on it. Greta, Jane sends it back middle. Everybody resets. From behind the 10-foot line, Greta, Allie just dumps it over. Here comes to their outside again. That's not going to make it over as that hit the net. And the lead is down to 1. And there's a timeout from Tampa. We'll be back after that. All right, lead is 1 for Tampa as Kennedy's set to serve and see if we can tie it up. She'll throw a short one into the middle. That's dumped over. And Reagan will play it up. And Cam can do, and she gets the kill, and we're tied at 12. Kennedy to serve with a tie ball game. We got a game to 3 now. Kennedy will go to the right side. It's sprayed around. This is going to come to their outside. Blocked. Allie plays it. Reagan gets the out of system to Greta. She'll go far left side. This is going to, again, go to the outside. Diving dig by Kennedy. And Jane will send it off the hands, back row. From behind the 10-foot line, Greta unable to come up with it, and Tampa's up 1. Reagan up to Allie. Allie with the quick back set to Cam, and bam, bam, Cam ties it at 13. Which will bring Chloe in to serve, and I would love to just see 2 aces, and let's call it a game. She'll go right side. Pushed over to the outside. Chloe, what an effort by Reagan to get there. She'll go into the net, but that'll give Tampa set and match point, and we got 1 to fight off here. That one was Chloe. Allie's going to feed it to Cam, and Cam's going to hit it too far, and we just lost. We'll drop this one in a heartbreaker. So the girls are going to have to come back and win out 2-2 probably to have any chance at first, if there is one, and hopefully take second so we can continue on to gold. So that'll do it for now. We'll be back in about an hour. We'll see you then. I apologize. We play right away, so I will leave the live feed. Well, I'm going to shut the live feed off for a second and turn it back on to end this match. But join us right away as we're playing back-to-back matches.